Good evening, I'm Scott Beadle with St. George News at 8. Emergency crews rescued a 70-year-old woman who fell about 50 feet into a deep crack at the Grand Canyon Tuesday afternoon. The Illinois woman had fallen into the crevice about 10 yards from the canyon, according to the sheriff's office. After setting up a rope system, a search and rescue member was lowered to the woman. The woman was first secured with a rope and lifted a few inches to assist with her breathing. She was then hoisted the rest of the way to safety. She was airlifted to Las Vegas for treatment. The Santa Clara Fire Department spent the day yesterday tackling a brush fire. Steve Akuta with the department shares what happened.
Earlier today, Santa Clara Fire Department was dispatched to a brush fire. As we arrived, we saw an active fire. We were able to, with responding units, gain control and put it out. The cause is currently undetermined. We currently have mutual aid here from Ivans working with Santa Clara. We are now in what we call the mop-up stage, making sure that there's no hot spots. We'll be on scene here for a little bit longer. We have some homes that are in proximity of the fire. The homes were not in danger. We were able to quickly do a what we call a fast attack.
There were no reports of structural damage. The fire grew to about 1 acre in size. Its cause is still under investigation. The Washington County Drug Task Force makes another arrest in their efforts to crack down on drug deals in the area. 28-year-old Tyler Boyd Prince was arrested Tuesday afternoon. He faces 4 counts of felony drug distribution, among other drug charges. The task force bought heroin from Prince on 4 separate occasions over 30 days. Tuesday afternoon, detectives spotted Prince driving on I-15 in St. George and pulled him over. When officers arrested Prince, they say he told them he had a balloon of heroin and other drug tools down his pants. He also told officers he didn't sell heroin, but later stated he sold enough to support his own habit. Prince is currently lodged in the Washington County Purgatory Correctional Facility. A year ago, the man dubbed Extraordinary Joe risked his life to save an unconscious woman in a runaway truck on Bluff Street. Maury Kessler shows us what's happened since.
St. George resident Joe Hamblin doesn't consider himself a hero. However, for actions taken to save the life of an unconscious woman in a runaway truck last year, the Carnegie Hero Fund Commission, as well as many others, see him as worthy of the title. On March 31st, 2016, Hamblin was driving on Bluff Street heading toward a medical clinic in order to get a checkup on his foot, which he had just had surgery on, when he noticed something odd ahead of him.
I noticed a bunch of cars bundled up, and I thought maybe it was something to do with road rage, and I went around the car, and that's what the dash cam shows it. I almost hit it. I looked down, and I could see that the lady was slumped over in her seat. So
cars on Bluff Street were swerving around the pickup truck the unconscious woman was in. The truck itself was moving along at about 15 to 20 miles an hour, Hamblin said, and it was starting to head into oncoming traffic. That is when the Army veteran decided to spring into action. Sadly, the woman involved in the incident died in the hospital 3 days later, having experienced an aneurysm, which is believed to be the root cause of what occurred on Bluff Street.
The one thing that I remember as the adrenaline was pumping and I was on the car, I remember looking to the side at one time as the cement truck went by, and I see people holding their camera phones, and I remember thinking, somebody help, I need some help.
News of Hamblin's experience soon spread as media picked up on his story, resulted in his receiving praise and accolades from various groups. On Wednesday, he was presented with the Carnegie Medal of Civilian Heroism by Utah Congressman Chris Stewart.
Acting without hesitation and with tremendous precision, Joseph saved a life and eliminated a great risk being placed to others. Joseph acted in the true spirit of selflessness, embodying not only true patriotism, but ultimately demonstrating the best elements of humanity: courage, selflessness, and a willingness to take bold action.
If you have old paint, pesticides, aerosol cans, or any other hazardous material laying about the house, you can drop it off at the Washington County landfill for free this Saturday. The county is hoping to provide a safer and better way of disposing of hazardous materials. The drop-off is free for residents who pay a garbage bill for residential trash. The only thing that will cost you is if you want to toss some tires. You're free to dispose of your items at the landfill Saturday from 8 a.m. till 1 p.m. Springdale residents will be able to recycle their electronics Friday at the Canyon Community Center from 2 p.m. to 6. However, no TVs or CRT monitors will be accepted there. Chief Meteorologist Chris Summers is up with your Southern Utah forecast next.
The weather tonight is brought to you by Experamac. Experience Mac computers in a new way.
And welcome back, everyone. A good Thursday evening to you. Some beautiful weather out there once again today. Sunshine. Temperature is pretty nice for this time of year. Just a few degrees above where we should be as we head into the later part of April here. And it looks like we'll see even warmer temperatures as we head into the weekend. Yeah, talking about 90-degree temperatures in some areas by the time we get to Sunday. Also bring a little breeze along with that. So summer is in the forecast for a few days anyway, but by early next week could see temperatures cool off just a little bit once again by about Monday and Tuesday of next week. But lots of sunshine expected. Again, a nice pleasant way to end our work week. Temperatures about 5, maybe 6 degrees above where they normally should be this time of year. Now over the weekend though, it does become warm. We even call it hot out there, as you could see temperatures about 10 to 15 degrees above normal across a good portion of southern Utah and parts of northern Arizona, even southeastern parts of Nevada as well. But then by early next week, we do see some slightly cooler temperatures get back in here. Still very nice for this time of year, but at least getting temperatures closer to average by early next week. Taking a look at our surface map for your Friday. Again, warm, dry air just down to our south. We're going to still be in kind of in between those two systems. Again, seeing most of the rain stay off to our north and east, though, through parts of the Rocky States. But we're going to be on that border of some cooler weather, but also that very warm weather, too. And we'll watch that high pressure right now over the Pacific Ocean as that continues to push inland over the next several days. That's when we really get into that very warm and humid weather as we head into not only Saturday, but really on Sundays when you're going to feel the brunt of the heat. And a little bit of humidity in the forecast too. Yeah, not going to be quite dry around the area. Could see a little increase in that dew point as we head into the afternoon hours of our Sunday, but definitely going to be warm, that is for sure. Temperatures into the 90s in some areas. But Cedar City, as you head into your Friday, another beautiful day. A little cool to start though, 33 degrees. Mainly clear skies, upper 50s by the afternoon. Again, north winds about 5 to 10, maybe up to 15 miles per hour in some areas. Now for St. George on Friday, again, mainly clear skies to start the day, 53. Again, by the afternoon hours, 75 degrees our high temperature across the region. Here's your highs today in the low 80s in most areas. Even see those mid 80s down to our south and to our east as well, down into the parts of Nevada, seeing temperatures into the mid 80s. We'll cool off a couple degrees as we head into tonight and into tomorrow, but then by the time we get to the weekend, that's when the warm weather really gets back into our area. 30 degrees as we get into the overnight hours for Cedar City, otherwise upper 40s to low 50s. For your Friday, up to 81 degrees Mesquite, mid 70s from St. George to Hurricane, upper 50s in Cedar City. Here's that 7-day forecast for Cedar City. Again, a little bit warmer for the weekend, could be in the mid 70s in Cedar City. By Sunday, a little bit cooler by early next week, back into the mid 60s, but we really notice the heat around the area on Sunday. 89 degrees our high temperature, St. George and southern Utah, and keeping it in the mid to upper 80s by Monday before we eventually drop back into the low 80s by the early part of next week, but almost a little early to be seeing temperatures quite this warm here in April. But hey, you know, take it while we get it, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be a hot one Sunday, isn't it?
That sure is. That's going to be a more summer-like feel to our temperatures on Sunday compared to what we've been seeing here lately.
All right, thanks, Chris. KCSG Channel 8 has teamed up with Experamac to give away an iPad at the end of the month. All you have to do is go to the KCSG Facebook page or kcsg.com to enter, and once you've entered, be sure to use the keyword, which we're announcing during each broadcast of the St. George News at 8, for an additional 30 entries. Tonight's keyword is Xena. You may enter the giveaway every day until May 1st, so be sure to tune in each weeknight to the St. George News at 8 for the keyword of the day and those additional chances to win an iPad courtesy of KCSG and Experamac. After the break, skateboarding on 4 legs. You won't want to miss this Pug's 6 skills when we return. A pug is spotted riding a skateboard around a park in London. The dog can be seen picking up the board in his mouth, mounting the board, and skating up and down the park, much to the delight of onlookers. No official word on the owner, but many believe it's a pooch named Eric, who, if it is a talented animal with a dedicated online following.
Very cute.
Very good, too.
That's true.
Thanks for watching.
Hope you have a great night.